So hello guys and welcome back to Excelsior Academy. So today we are going to do the last portion from the biomolecules for protein. Okay, so remaining carbohydrate, nucleic acids and lipids are still there. So from the protein, this is the last topic. We discussed already about the Ramachandran plot. Okay, so there will be a test on only on Ramachandran plot. ठीक है, बाकी का हम बाद में लेंगे. But the test which I'm preparing right now, it's basically only the questions are only on the Ramachandran plot. ठीक है, so आप prepare रहना and let's have test tomorrow. ठीक है, so when I say test, it is a test. तो आपको मैं पहले से वो PDF नहीं भेजूंगी. So tomorrow only जिसका नाम लूंगी उसको आंसर देना होगा. So guys just go through with the Ramachandran plot. मैं PDF भेजूंगी आज. ठीक है, okay. So we'll have tomorrow exam as well as the classes also. Chalo, so now we are going to discuss about the protein stability. So this is also a very important part. Like what are the forces or the factors which are responsible for your protein stability? And now why it is important to talk about protein stability? Because as I mentioned once, I have told that कि एक first of all drug targeting के लिए भी हमें use होता है, ठीक है? So इसलिए basically if you see in the pharma companies, like mainly जो pharma companies रहती हैं, वो हमेशा organic synthesis के लिए जाती हैं, like organic molecules के लिए. Why? Because organic molecules are more stable as compared to the protein. ये तो yes 100% true है, but the only problem with organic molecules as compared to the protein is about the specificity. ठीक है, जो स्पेसिफिसिटी प्रोटीन देगा वो आपका ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल नहीं दे सकता है. सो इट इज ऑलवेज गुड अगर आप कोई एक ऐसा प्रोटीन ढूंढ ले विच इज लाइक वेरी स्पेसिफिक टू दिस पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ कैंसर. लेट अस से दैट यू आर टारगेटिंग लंग कैंसर. ठीक है, नाउ दिस देयर इज सर्टेन प्रोटीन्स व्हिच कैन रिकॉग्नाइज लंग कैंसर and can differentiate from the normal cells, normal lung cells. ठीक है, so what will be the beneficial? अब मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ, प्रोटीन को I can tag with the drug. So what is the benefit of this specificity of the protein? This protein will directly go and recognize the lung cancer and the drug will be taken inside by the lung cancer cells. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, आपके normal cells जो हैं वो target नहीं हो रहे हैं, and this is how specifically you can target your lung cancer cells. So इससे एक और benefit क्या है? So you are not going to have the worst or the side effects of having जैसे जो chemotherapy में होता है, तो यहाँ पे वो चीज नहीं होगा. So only your lung cancer or that particular cancer cells are getting targeted. Now वहाँ पे protein stability is important because as we are studying and we saw that there are certain proteases which are released by the cancer cells continuously. Constitutive expression of these proteases are always there. So अगर मैं ऐसा protein डालूं which is like specific to lung cancer, but if the lung cancer is releasing proteases, what will happen? मेरा protein आपका degrade हो जाएगा. So even if it is carrying the drug, it will be of no use. Correct? तो इसीलिए many pharma companies they go for the organic molecules because proteases cannot degrade the organic molecule. अभी आपको समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
So अभी like you can understand why even though we know that there are certain proteins which can kill cancer cells, but still we are not able to use it because the stability problem है. ठीक है, and there are certain other proteins which are not stable in the normal pH. किसी को extreme pH में stable रहते हैं. ठीक है, कभी कभी क्या होता है, इस प्रोटीन को अगर मुझे टैग करना है ड्रग के साथ, सो दैट टैगिंग मीन्स व्हाट, द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कोवलेंट बॉन्ड. ठीक है, कोवलेंट बॉन्ड बनाने के लिए कभी कभी यू नीड टू इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर, बट इफ यू इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर व्हाट विल हैपन टू द प्रोटीन, इट विल डिग्रेड. करेक्ट, कभी कभी वी यूज एक्सट्रीम पीएच कंडीशन, sometimes we use chemical agents, and all these are factors which are responsible for the stability. कहीं ना कहीं से it is going to degrade the protein. ठीक है, so it is always important to study about the stability of protein. Okay, चलो let's start. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे रीजन है जिसके वजह से प्रोटीन स्टेबिलिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. एंड आप रिसर्च में जाओगे, वेन एवर यू डील विद मोल बायो, सेल बायो और माइक्रोबायोलॉजी, आप जिस फील्ड में जाओगे यू आर गोइंग टू वर्क विद द प्रोटीन अनलेस अंटिल यू आर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द डीएनए इंटरेक्शंस. सो वहां पे भी प्रोटीन स्टेबिलिटी इज इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज इफ योर प्रोटीन इज नॉट स्टेबल, इट इज गेटिंग डिग्रेडेड अगेन एंड अगेन, then how are you going to study about its function? How are you going to study about its structure, right? So you need to have your protein stable at room temperature or in the buffer solution in which you want to keep. So as a whole, you need to have your protein stable. आपका DNA बहुत stable है, ठीक है? There is nothing wrong with that. वो बहुत ही soluble है aqueous solution में, so it is very stable. आप कितना भी heat कर लो, you know that it the base pairs gets the base pair hydrogen bonding gets broken and again they can renature back. Same way with the lipids also. It is not that easy to renature the lipids and carbohydrates. सबसे बड़ी problem आती है protein के साथ. Okay, so let's talk about the stability of protein. So protein stability is the net balance of forces which determine whether a protein will be in its native folded conformation or a denatured form. ठीक है? And protein stability normally refers to the physical, the thermodynamic stability and not the chemical stability. Now chemical stability क्या है यहाँ पे? It is the peptide bond. ठीक है? It is the peptide bond. Chemical stability means they are talking about the peptide bond, but we are not interested in this. We are interested in the thermodynamic stability. कि वो कितना stable है. So we know that polypeptide chain को आप heat करोगे या pH change करोगे या so in that case the covalent bond, the peptide bond is not going to get broken unless until you know there is something which can break the covalent bond. So it is not going to affect, but the secondary structure formations, the tertiary structure, the quaternary structures, all these can be broken. That is a physical state. Okay, so ये आपका physical stability की बात करता है. Now guys, you tell me, each one of you, what are those factors or the forces which are responsible for the formation of secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure in protein? We have already discussed the forces which are responsible for the tertiary structure or quaternary structure formation. Yes, Pallavi, Chandani, क्या है आंसर? Yes, Smriti. Yes, anyone? नहीं? One second. Okay. No one is answering. What happened?
Ma'am, for secondary structure, it is covalent bond responsible for the secondary structure.
Which covalent bond? You need to mention, and that is your disulfide bond. Right? Correct. Then tertiary structure में और क्या क्या आएंगे? Your hydrogen bond. We have also talked about hydrophobic bonds, hydrophobic interactions. Correct? And van der Waals interactions हो गए आपके. Then we also have salt bridges. If you remember, there was one figure in which the tertiary structures and all the
Yes,
forces responsible were discussed. ठीक है? So yeah, these are the forces. Now, forces which are involved in protein stabilization: hydrogen bonding, van der Waals, ionic strengths, disulfide bonds, and hydrophobicity. So this already we have discussed. Now, the factors which affect the protein stability. क्या क्या हो गया आपके? Temperature. Of course, if you increase the temperature, आप boiling temperature में ले जाओगे, so definitely the protein is going to become unstable. Extreme pH case also. So either it is acidic or basic. दोनों ही extreme cases में आपका protein unstable हो जाएगा. Then organic solvents. So organic solvents जैसे कि for example you have got the ethyl acetate, ठीक है? Then DMSO हो गया आपका. Then what? We also have got the acetone, etc. All these organic solvents are going to affect the structure of the protein. ठीक है? Then chaotropic agents. Chaotropic agents क्या रहते हैं? जो आपका denature करते हैं. ठीक है? These are the denaturing agents. So examples are urea, guanidinium hydrochloride. They all destroy the tertiary structure. So urea हम already एक बार discuss कर चुके हैं एक example में. So there are few cases where the proteins are, the proteins are stable to the action of the urea. ठीक है, यूरिया का क्या काम है? हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू ब्रेक दी और डिस्टर्ब द टर्शियरी स्ट्रक्चर? इट इज गोइंग टू डिस्टर्ब बाय ब्रेकिंग द हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स. ठीक है. ओके, ना डाइसल्फाइड बॉन्ड. अब डाइसल्फाइड बॉन्ड है तो कैसे हम इसको ब्रेक कर सकते हैं? सो इफ देयर डाइसल्फाइड्स आर ब्रोकन, दैट इज रिड्यूस. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? इट मींस सिस्टीन में they make a disulfide bond like this. Now if it is a reduced form, so it means they become the SSH group. तो यहाँ पे आपके 2 एमिनो एसिड्स हो गए सिस्टीन के. करेक्ट है. अगर डाइसल्फाइड बॉन्ड होता तो ऐसा होता. Now when they are in the reduced form, आपको ऐसे मिलेगा. And then carboxymethylated with iodoacetate, the resulting protein is denatured, unfolded or mostly unfolded. See, अभी आपके पास कोई ऐसे प्रोटीन है and they have got the disulfide bond SA or like this. Now what will happen if you break the disulfide bond? So of course अभी यहाँ पे कोई connections नहीं है इसको पकड़ के रखने के लिए. So what will happen? It becomes a linear polypeptide chain. ठीक है. So what are the agents which can be used? So carboxymethylated, iodoacetate is there. Then what else is there? You also have BME, that is beta mercaptoethanol. Then DTT, dithiotritol. So ये सारे agents है जो आपके डाइसल्फाइड बॉन्ड ब्रेक करते हैं. ठीक है. Then ligand binding, it increases the stability of the protein. अभी ये कैसे है? अब तक हम क्या बात कर रहे थे? That it is going to affect the protein stability. But if you have got ligand binding, then it is going to increase the stability of the protein. Now anyone who can tell me why the ligand binding is increasing the stability of the protein? Pallavi, can you answer?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the thing is, see, you have got the protein like this, let us say, and then we have got the ligand over here. So यहाँ पे कैसे हो रहा है? The more interactions, अभी gap आपका fill हो गया with the help of the ligand, right? And यहाँ से water molecules आपके remove हो गए, remember? So entire thing over there, the water molecules are there. Now what happens is when water molecules are removed, it gets interacted with the substrate. The interactions with the substrate or the ligand is more stronger as compared to having interactions with the water molecules. वो क्या है आपका? hydrogen bonding है, right? So that's why it is increasing the stability of the protein. अगर मुझे कल को denature करना है कोई भी protein, I'm going to affect the binding site or the catalytic site of that particular protein. But if it is bound with the ligand, अभी मेरे पास suppose एक ऐसा protein है और एक ऐसा protein है. First scenario, second scenario. ठीक है. Now if I add certain agents which can destroy the stability of the protein, which one is going to get affected? This one, because this is having the exposed catalytic or the binding site. So it is easy for the agents to denature this particular protein as compared to this scenario. क्योंकि यहाँ पे complete structure है आपके पास and आपका जो यहाँ पे कैटलिटिक साइट है या बाइंडिंग साइट है वो आपका ऑक्यूपाइड है. ठीक है. So this is actually like a protecting it from the other denaturing agents. So it is actually increasing the stability of the protein. अभी clear है? Okay. Now coming to the protein denaturation. So a loss of 3-dimensional structure, it is sufficient to cause loss of function is called denaturation. एक ऐसा लॉस जिसके वजह से आपका फंक्शन ही चला जाए, that is called the protein denaturation. ठीक है. Sometimes what happens is, ये बहुत ही rare scenario है. So if you have got the protein, ठीक है, and it has got the catalytic site over here. Sometimes what happens is, even though you have got the denaturing agents over here, now denaturing agents आपको temperature भी हो सकता है, pH भी हो सकता है, और any other pleiotropic agents हो सकते हैं. ठीक है. So if suppose these agents are present, there are chances that the protein can get open up, still retaining your catalytic site. Now you guys tell me whether it is going to show the function or not. Whether it is going to be functional or not. it still have its catalytic site intact. Chandani, what do you think?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Yes.
Voice break, ma'am.
Okay. So I am repeating. So you have got the enzyme or any other protein which has got the binding site over here. Okay, ये आपका catalytic site है. Now this particular protein is present in the presence of a denaturing agents. Let us say that it is having high temperature or extreme pH or certain denaturing agents like urea, etc. ठीक है. Now in the presence of these denaturing agents, the protein got open up, unfolded. ठीक है. It has lost its tertiary structure. Loss. ठीक है. But it had retained its catalytic site. Now you tell me whether this particular protein will show its function or not, whether it is still functional or not.
Yes, ma'am, it's functional.
Yes, very good. So it is going to be functional because पूरे protein में when you have got the catalytic site functional, it means what? The entire protein is going to be functional. ठीक है? It's just that maybe the turnover rate will be reduced, but it is going to be functional. Good. So alteration, हाँ.
Ma'am, haven't we studied like for any protein to be functional, we require the tertiary structure completion, and otherwise the proteasome will, digest it off?
Yes, that is also correct. But this is the scenario in your in vitro condition. ठीक है, आप जो बोल रहे हो वो आपका in vivo में हो गया है. And in vivo में the moment there are loss of tertiary structure, then proteosomes or ubiquitin molecules will come and tag, and then they will be taken for the degradation. But कल को जब आप lab में काम करोगे, ठीक है? So what happens is sometimes, like I'll tell you from my experience also, I used to boil my protein till 90 to 95 degrees Celsius. ठीक है? And then I used to check it for its activity. ठीक है? So instead of having 100% activity, I am still getting around 40 to 50% activity. यानी कि half of the activity. Okay? So there are only two cases. इसके दो reason हो सकते हैं. Out of which one is either you lost the tertiary structure, but still your active site or the binding site is intact. ठीक है? And दूसरा reason क्या है? Renaturation. So renaturation मतलब maybe they have tried to got their tertiary structure back. ठीक है? And both the answers are correct because these are all both both of these are being proven by the X-ray crystallography. अभी clear है स्मृति?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ? So both the conditions are correct, but अब lab में जब आप कर रहे हो तो आपको नहीं पता चलेगा. But these two are the reasons which you can give. अगर कोई आपसे पूछे कि like what you think might have happened to your protein that it is still showing the activity. अगर suppose just imagine आपने 95 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक आपने प्रोटीन को बॉईल किया है and again it is still showing the 100% activity, I guess then that is the best protein ever. Right? क्योंकि वो इतना thermostable है that it is still showing the activity. I haven't seen such protein till now because I was working on the thermostable protein and I have gone till 100 degree Celsius. 100 degree Celsius में क्या होगा? The water starts boiling, right? So the boiling is actually affecting the protein का stability. So कैसा रहता है? अगर मैंने 1 mg protein use किया है for my studies, after boiling the many protein starts becoming precipitate, यानी कि unfolding and they form the aggregates and they precipitate out. तो 1 mg में कुछ ऐसे protein होंगे, maybe I can say 1 microgram or 10 microgram of the protein which might still show the activity. But you can never get 100% activity again after boiling the protein. आपको कुछ activity मिलेगी but not the 100%. ठीक है? And whenever you get less amount of activity like 40 to 50, that particular activity is called residual activity. ठीक है? These terminologies are really important. Clear? सब कुछ clear है अभी? हाँ.
मैम एक बार रिपीट कर लो मैम. आज सिग्नल और फूल है.
What? From where I should repeat?
Here my signal is very poor. Ma'am?
Okay. कहाँ से repeat करना है? Everything?
Yes, ma'am. If you don't mind.
I'll repeat, no problem. See,
This
we are talking
raining was
about
very
the
cool.
protein denaturation. ठीक है? So that example, did you understand कि हमारे पास protein है and still having the catalytic activity, whether it is functional or not, वो point clear है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there are two reasons why you can see the activity. ठीक है? So first reason is that it might undergo renaturation. Renaturation मतलब getting its tertiary structure back on removal of the denaturing agent. ठीक है? So when you on removal of your denaturing agent, then you can get your renaturation. यानी कि उसको वापस tertiary structure मिल जाएगा, and that's why you got the activity. ठीक है? But in this scenario, you should get then 100% of activity. But ये rare cases रहता है. Second हो गया आपका second case where the tertiary structure is lost, but you have got intact catalytic site or the binding site. Catalytic or binding site is intact. ठीक है? And that's why you still get the activity. And of course, you're going to get less amount of activity. So when from 100% of activity, when 100% of activity is there in the normal state, ठीक है? ये हो गया आपका native protein which gives the activity. Now after heating or in the presence of the denaturing agents, the activity what you get is known as residual activity. ठीक है? बची कुची activity in general. I mean that is the layman language, like residual activity मतलब बची कुची activity after removing the denaturing agents. So usually from 100% you actually get 50 or less. अगर उससे ज़्यादा मिल रहा है तो then also you can say that yeah, your protein is stable, but usually you don't get. There is only one kind of protein which shows that they are thermostable, and that category is known as lectins. कभी सुना है क्या lectins के बारे में? And in that lectins also, plant lectins are thermostable, not the animal or the bacterial lectins. ठीक है? So they are animal lectins are like thermolabile. जरा सा heat temperature लगा, so they get these unstable. So whereas plant lectins are very, 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 very stable. And there's one more thing. एक additional information देती हूँ मैं. So guys, do you know what is Moringa oleifera? किसी को आइडिया ये क्या चीज है?
It's a plant, ma'am.
प्लांट तो है. Then what else? Drumsticks पता है?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ,
Yes,
चलो.
Scientific name of drumstick.
हाँ. So moringa is nothing but your scientific name of drumsticks. तो drumstick में जो seeds है, you must have seen. कुछ लोग तो खा लेते हैं, like वो सांबर में जो बनाते हैं. Many people don't eat it. Whatever. I mean, the reasons are different. Maybe the taste or whatever. So those seeds have got a very a lectin. ठीक है? Now that lectin is so stable that it can withstand the temperature of 130 degrees Celsius. And it has got the medicinal properties. And that's why I don't know, many people, they know that leaves are also having the medicinal properties. So अगर जिसको क्या कहते हैं drumsticks नहीं मिलता है, so they also buy moringa leaves, they cook it like a sabji and they have it. I don't know about you guys, आपने कभी देखा है या खाया है कि नहीं खाया है, but the main reason is that this lectin which is present
Yes, ma'am, I know.
there,
Yes, ma'am.
those lectins which are present is actually having the medicinal values, and it is really good for, like, you know, जिसको भी stomach related problems हैं या कोई infections जल्दी हो जाता है, like few people are like very prone to infections soon, right, as compared to the normal people. So those, if that person have this moringa का leaves, उसका curry या whatever, some way, कुछ लोग जूस बना के भी पीते हैं, कुछ लोग सब्जी की तरह खाते हैं, like पालक and all, वैसा बना के, whatever ways you eat, it is going to be beneficial. ठीक है? Anyways, when you do bio, actually you come to know the importance of many things, and then you start appreciating also. I mean, that's why I like bio. Okay, so alterations in the environment like pH हो गया, salt concentration or temperature, they are going to disrupt the bonds and the forces of attractions. ठीक है? Oh, what happened? Okay. Now let's talk about the folding. A folding protein follows multiple pathways from high energy and high entropy to low energy, low entropy. Guys, this sentence is very important. ठीक है? तो जब आपका polypeptide chain है, it requires high amount of energy and it is highly entropy. High entropy क्यों? Because it is random, right? Now it has to become low energy and low entropy. तो इसको fold होते होते कुछ ऐसा बनना है. Like that is a ordered structure. Ordered structure means it is having the low entropy. No folding, nothing is there. It is an open structure. Then it means it's having the high entropy. ठीक है? जहाँ पे समझ में नहीं आई वहाँ पे रोकना, ठीक है? Because now from here onwards all thermodynamics things will come. Amyloid disease results from protein misfolding. Now when the proper energy is not provided. Now this energy, when I say that the proteins are folded and the energy is required to fold the protein is provided by chaperones. So this we know. So chaperones are actually helping in the protein folding. Now if it is not proper or not available, what will happen? The protein will misfold. वो कहीं पे भी interact करके गलत fold हो जाएंगे. And that forms the amyloid. And amyloid की वजह से ही then you get the Alzheimer's. ठीक है? So there are many other reasons कि आपके tau proteins हैं और neuron problems हैं. So there are many reasons, but this is one of the reasons that the protein misfolding results in the neurological disorders. अब यहाँ पे थोड़ा ध्यान देना. This is important part. Little bit maths is required over here. So let us examine Levinthal paradox. ठीक है? So it's let us say that there is a polypeptide chain of 101 amino acid residues. It would have to sample around 3 raised to 100. No, 3 into 100, which is equal to, it is 3 raised to 100. Okay, it's not 3 into, it's 3 raised to 100, which is equivalent to 5 into 10 raised to 47 conformations. Now, अब मुझे ये बताओ हमने यहाँ पे 3 क्यों लिया है? And 100 value क्यों आई है? What is given? 101 amino acids. Why we have taken 3? Why we have taken
101 amino acid residue. So the number of peptide bonds would be 100.
Very good. Okay. What about 3? 3 ही क्यों लिया? We are talking about conformations, right? So conformations मतलब हमें क्या consider करना चाहिए? Yesterday's lecture.
It is able to give 3 conformations.
Nah. Yesterday's lecture. Ramchandran plot.
Ma'am, alpha, beta.
No. Nothing to do with alpha beta.
Torsion.
और सोचो. Yes, पल्लवी, और क्या लगता है? कल ही हमने पढ़ा.
हम सिंगल प्लेन में होना चाहिए इसलिए.
नहीं.
ADP और ADP रिलीज होना मैम. 3
नहीं.
Ma'am, torsion angles, alpha, phi.
नहीं, torsion angle word सही है. Alpha is wrong. It is phi, psi and omega. भूल गए?
Sorry, phi, psi, omega.
It is not alpha, beta. Alpha, beta आपके secondary structures हो गए. हाँ. So it's correct that torsion angles की हम वहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं या dihedral angles आप बोल सकते हो. So it's phi, psi and omega. ठीक है? So if each bond connecting two consecutive residues has only 3 possible configuration, अगर हमने ये assume किया है, अब ओमेगा क्या है? आपका पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड है. ठीक है? नाउ अगर हम इसका सैम्पलिंग करें, इक्वेशंस निकालें, सो हमें इससे क्या पता चलेगा? If the sampling takes place at a rate equal to that of a bond vibrations, then it would take around 10 raised to 27 years for an unfolded polypeptide chain to complete the search for its native conformation. So just imagine इतने सारे, अभी 101 एमिनो एसिड है और हर एक को हमें ये चेक करना है that it is in its correct phi angles or not. Just imagine the probability कि उसको कितने बार करना होगा. पहले तो आपके पास दो एमिनो एसिड्स हैं, उनका चेक करना होगा, फिर 3 है, तीसरे की वजह से आपका सेकंड डिस्टर्ब होता है, फोर्थ आएगा तो यहाँ पे 1 2 3 डिस्टर्ब होता है, तो ऐसे हमारे पास 100 है. So that's what they have calculated, that it will take around 10⁻27 years for one polypeptide chain to get its correct native conformation. But does it happen like that? ऐसा होता है क्या हमारे साथ? नहीं ना. First of all, we don't live for these many years. Correct? So this discrepancy between their large time estimate and the real folding times of protein, which are in few seconds or faster, is commonly referred to as Leventhal paradox. अब ये लेवेंथल पैराडॉक्स समझ में आ गया क्या है? ये तो बंदे का नाम है. सो पैराडॉक्स यहाँ पे क्या है वो समझ में आ गया आपको. तो जितना बड़ा आपका एमिनो एसिड, सॉरी, जितना बड़ा आपका पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन होगा, it is going to have so many conformations to undergo so that it gets a correct structure. But we know that it hardly takes seconds to get a proper folding of proteins. नहीं तो अभी मैं इतनी बात कर रही हूँ, इंसुलिन हो गया आपका, एक बार में इतना सारा रिलीज होता है. Whenever we are hungry, it gives a signal. It does not take these many years or months or days to get processed, right? The moment the signal is given, your biological clock says that yeah, you should eat right now. Insulin आपका release हो जाता है. Hardly it takes seconds to synthesize, to give a signal to your DNA. आपका gene expression जो होता है, फिर insulin बनता है, insulin release होता है, etc. etc. ठीक है? So it does not take years to happen that, it just happens in few seconds. So that is a paradox. कि यहाँ पे इतने सारे confirmation है, but it happens in the seconds. So this has been given by the person called Leventhal. ठीक है, उस बंदे का नाम था. Now this is also important. This is about the thermodynamically. We are going to talk about the protein folding. Okay. So energy landscape model. So all folding protein molecules are guided by an energy bias to transverse an energy landscape towards the native conformation energy landscape view of protein folding. So ये एक theory है. Okay, this is not exactly how the proteins fold actually. It's just a theory that from high entropy to go to the low entropy, it is going to follow such particular cone shape or the energy conformation. ठीक है? तो आपके पास यहाँ पे क्या है? Linear amino acid strand है, right? Now, it's a bumps in the funnel represent energy barriers and the folding will take the path of least resistance to its final native state. इसका मतलब क्या? अब यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पे bumps आ रहे हैं, ये सारी lines आ रही हैं. So that shows that these are the hurdles which proteins need to cross in order to get its complete or and the correct native 3D conformation या tertiary structure. ठीक है? इतना clear है? So this is like actually the thermodynamic barrier. So any protein, whenever it is getting folded, it needs to cross this thermodynamic barrier and to get the complete correct structure. So there are certain chaperones, for example, HSP60. तो ये भी कुछ ऐसा ही दिखता है. I mean, let us say that it is like this. Your polypeptide chain goes inside and there are certain proteins, amino acids is actually a protein only. ठीक है? Chaperone है ये आपका. So these particular proteins or the chaperones like HSP60, heat shock protein 60, they help in the folding of the protein. ठीक है? Now the interesting thing is that how does HSP60 understand कौन सा protein किस तरह का fold होना चाहिए? Is the question clear?
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? HSP60 तो एक ही हो गया, बट उसको कैसे पता कि इंसुलिन आपका ऐसे फोल्ड होना चाहिए या आपका मायोग्लोबिन ऐसे फोल्ड होना चाहिए? How does it understand? It's very simple. That information is present in the polypeptide chain. So whenever it is actually helping in the interactions, it will actually understand whether that particular interaction is possible or not. ठीक है? यहाँ पे forcefully interactions नहीं होते हैं. It is like possible, तो वो बना के देखेगा, and at the end, like when before leaving from here, that is leaving the HSP60, it will check the entire tertiary structure whether it is going to be stable or not. And if the protein structure is stable, it means the correct interactions, that is like hydrophobic हो गया, hydrogen bonding हो गया, या salt bridges हो गया, disulfide bond हो गया, ये सब आपका correct है. ठीक है? So that is what the HSP60 does. Okay, so factors of protein misfolding. So misfolding के लिए of course आप कुछ भी ले लो. The chaperone, the absence of the chaperone protein, या फिर आपके पास high temperature है, extreme pH है, mutations हो गए, या कुछ post translation modifications हो गए, strong promoters हो गए, high inducer concentrations, because high inducer होगा तो बहुत सारे protein भी express होंगे, and we don't want large amount. जब large amount of proteins are expressed, what happens? They just come together and aggregate and they just precipitate out. सब गलत हो जाता है वहाँ पे. And loss of conformation due to stress. So stress also, so यहाँ पे stress क्या हो गया? Environmental stress हो गया. So जैसे कि बाहर का temperature या बाहर का pH, even that is results in the loss of conformation. Sometimes we also get the process like ROS, reactive oxygen species. They are also synthesized inside the cells. ठीक है? तो ये भी एक तरह का stress हो गया. This will also denature the conformation or denature the protein. So these are the factors. Now the chaperones. So they are the protein, they help in the protein folding and they prevent aggregation. So prevent aggregation कैसे रहेगा आपका? So as I mentioned before, आपके पास HSP60 है, ठीक है? अब polypeptide chain अंदर जाएगा, protein आपका fold होगा, it will come out. Now sometimes what happens is that polypeptide chain आपका ऐसे release होता है, after it gets translated, it is like present like this in the cytoplasm. अब इसको यहाँ तक HSP60 तक लाना है. There are huge chances or the high probability that this protein will undergo misfolding because there are chances, right? इसको इतना travel करके जाना है. It's not like जहाँ पे भी protein आपका synthesize हुआ या translate हुआ तो उसके सामने ही HSP60 ऐसा नहीं है. So in order to prevent its aggregation and misfolding, there are certain other chaperones which are like binding like this. Do you have the idea how single-stranded binding proteins are bound on the single-stranded DNA? है ना? In the same way, to the polypeptide chain, there are certain other chaperones which go and bind and prevents its misfolding or aggregation. Those are example are HSP70 and HSP90. याद रहेगा? हाँ? Okay. So in the case of bacteria, it is known as GROEL. In the case of eukaryotes, it is known as HSP. Now let's see the figure over here. So ये आपका GROEL है. So GROEL का काम क्या है? It is for the protein folding. ठीक है? Now यहाँ पे the moment it actually assembles, what happens? Your protein is over here. GROEL, I don't know why this chaperone is there because mainly this is responsible for the degradation. Anyways, let's see the over here. So आपके पास protein है, unfolded protein है, it goes inside, okay, with the help of the ATP. Of course, it is going to utilize ATP. Energy तो लगना ही है. Why energy is required? Because you're going to make the interactions. Disulfide bond बनेगा, ये सब बनेगा. आपको at the end में energy चाहिए, right? अगर आपका protein properly fold हो गया है, then it will be released out, and of course ADP will be released. Now, if it is still unfolded, what will happen? Then it will be targeted for your degradation to the proteasome. If it is not able to correct the folding of the protein, then it will be degraded. Clear, guys? अब तक हमने जो भी डिस्कस किया क्लियर है आपको?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, okay. Now, Anne Vinson experiment, spontaneous folding. Okay, so let's talk about this also, about the spontaneous folding. So this is one example. Ribonuclease. It is a small protein that contains 8 cysteine linked via 4 disulfide bonds. अभी इसके केस में क्या है? Like as I was explaining before, if you remove the denaturing agents, there are cases where the protein will refold back or renature back. So this is the example for that. And this has been seen in the case of ribonuclease. ठीक है? So ribonuclease का क्या काम है? To degrade RNAs. ठीक है? RNA. So it's a small protein that contains 8 cysteine linked by a 4 disulfide bond. Of course, 8 है तो आपके पास 4 disulfide bond है. Look at the figure also over here. So it has got the native state, and यहाँ पे 1, 2, 3, यहाँ पे got 4. So how many are there? 4 disulfide bonds are there. Now, in the presence of urea and 2 mercaptoethanol, 2 mercaptoethanol is also known as beta mercaptoethanol. ठीक है? They fully denature the ribonuclease. अभी क्या किया? Denature होना मतलब it will be reduced, right? तो आपको जो disulfide bond है, instead of this, it will become SH. तो यहाँ पे सेम हुआ है, तो आपके पास कितने SH ग्रुप हो गए? यहाँ पे 8 SH ग्रुप हो जाएंगे because you have got the 8 cysteine residues. Now, when urea and 2 mercaptoethanol are removed, the protein spontaneously repose and correct disulfide bonds are formed. So, जैसे ही आपने urea and BME हटाया, what happened? Again, the native conformation of the protein was regained. The disulfide cross-links correctly reformed are made. So the sequence alone is enough to determine the native conformation. So ऐसा हर protein के case में नहीं होता है, but there are few cases where the spontaneous folding of the protein is happening. Guys, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now last thing, the renaturation. ठीक है, यही चीज था about the ribonuclease only. So the native structure and biological activity of some globular proteins can be regained if the denaturing agents will be removed. Example is about the ribonuclease. Yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you guys.